Deja Vu. We
Alright.
can edit that out.
So tell us a bit about how you got into music and some of the projects you've done over the years.
My dad's a musician. He taught me to play guitar when he started guitar school when I was 11. So that's when I started playing the basics. And when I was 13, and he was gigging around, he'd take me to gigs sometimes to do a spot. And one gig he did at Tingura Hotel out near Wondai was the other half of his duo never turned up, and I was it. I was the man on the night, so I just played bass for him, and I did a little spot myself on guitar too, but I was just basically reading off charts, and that was my first paid gig.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I did a few things with him, different projects with him as I was a teenager over the years, and then I bought my own PA when I wanted to start playing music. I was probably about 18. I'd played, other than that, I just played like, just play my acoustic, take it to parties, you know, play with friends in high school and stuff. Did a couple of high school gigs at like, we had like awards nights and things like that. I might, you know, I'd play music, sing, and yeah, so I bought a PA and I had so I could play some music at a party. I had a bit like an open mic, even though I didn't know what that was. I just thought it was set up gear, people can play. And my best friend, his sister saw me and said, "Oh, can you come and play at my birthday party?" And she was having an 18th at a venue where she worked, a nightclub in Ipswich. So, yeah, I took my gear down there, set up and played, and she got the manager to come and have a look, and he booked me there. So I had a residency there.
Nice.
And a couple of my friends who were tagging along, who were also musicians, they were all backstage with me. We were all excited. Oh wow, you know, it's real gigging, you know. So we started a band there, and we used to go busking a lot.
What were they called?
Stone Crows, yeah.
I remember that actually.
Pretty original, yeah.
That's good.
We had a 4-piece band. So I played guitar and sang, and we had a lead guitarist, bass player, and drummer. Bass players came and went, but the three core friends of us, we stayed together for a couple of years with a couple of different bass players. And we used to just go busking in the Queen Street Mall late Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and we'd have like a 3-piece. A drummer would take a shaker and a snare drum, and we'd take 2 acoustic guitars, and we'd do 3-part harmonies, and just you know get a few dollars, especially when the nightclub's shut. Back then, a lot of people listened to live music. We'd go outside the live music venues like what is now Mick O'Malley's under the Winter Garden used to be Her Majesty's live music venue, or the Vic. Always had bands on. And people, when the band's finished, people would come out, they'd get thrown out of the pub, and then we'd be there rocking out, playing their favourite songs in the mall, you know, the acoustics. And
That sounds
so,
awesome.
you know, and we met a lot of people doing that, and that's to me, that's really good conditioning. People say, why do you busk? And to me, busking is like, it's going to the gym for an athlete. It makes your fingers stronger. You have to project your voice really well. So it's really good conditioning. And we were doing it so much, and we were rehearsing, you know, 3-4 days a week as well. So even though we were young and pretty inexperienced, we got really tight act really quick, and enough material to do a gig. And one night a man saw us busking, and he gave me his car, and he said, "Give me a call, I run a few pubs." And so he goes to gig, and we got a residency at Rosie's Tavern in the city. And that was our first gig.
Nice.
You know, so it was a pretty good gig. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, I wonder this time when she's gone.
So what about these days? What are you working on now?
So now I'm full-time covers artist. I don't have any current originals projects, but it's always sort of in the background of what I'm doing, planning, you know, the next thing. The last originals project, we played a few festivals and played some Battle of the Bands and different things like that, multi-band lineups. Because it's a bit of a different scene, and it's hard to get a lot of work.
Yeah.
We ended up But we played Mitchell Creek Festival, which was good. We're actually the last act of the festival, 2 years I think. Played the Ellie Beach Music Festival a couple of times,
Yeah, nice.
which was good. And
So
just,
the full time, you're just working at pubs, yeah?
yeah, just working pubs and clubs. Yeah, I was at Mount Isa on the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, got a few more gigs up there, so they fly me up there and accommodation and everything, which is good.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So you're able to live off that now? You just go around and do pub gigs?
just playing pub gigs. Yeah, I work for a lot of
That's
agents. That's doing solo covers basically, sing and play guitar. Work for a few agents. I work for a few venues directly, and yeah, now if I'm doing 3 or 4 gigs a week, it's pays the bills. And
Yeah.
I don't need to have a day job. So.
Did you have to work hard to get to that point? Yeah.
There was people doing it a lot younger than me. It's probably in some ways because it was always sideline. I had the odd band here and there over the years, doing the odd solo work here and there. It was really when I was 25 and 26 and I had a choice. That's when I was starting to get some reasonable money playing solo gigs. And I had a choice then. I had the company I was working for wanted to train me up for a position there. I had the option of going and working with youth and the option of going a full-time musician. And I decided to go and work with youth, so I did that for over 10 years. And
Wow.
yeah.
So what changed now that made you go now?
Well, I think the youth work was probably, for some people like me, has a shelf life. It can get draining after a tour of duty, so I was probably looking for something else, either moving up the ranks so I could have more influence without so much direct contact, but as that was happening and I was with an employer who was training me up, who wanted to promote me, I was also getting a lot more gigs. They just started to come in more, so I turned my attention to that, and to the point where I was knocking back gigs because I had shifts at work.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe it's time to have a go at it. So it's been 6 months now, 6 months I haven't worked.
That's
a day
amazing.
job. Yeah.
So you'd have a lot of gigs at night, do you have spare time during the day?
Well, no alarm clocks, that's the best bit.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I play mainly Friday, Saturday nights, Sundays, sometimes Thursday nights. I think probably some advice I give to other musicians too who are trying to do what I do is diversify your income, Some people might be really good at making YouTube videos. I mean, I thought of doing a YouTube video how to restring a guitar.
Yeah.
And if it's really interactive and it's really good and it will just naturally get more hits. And then, eventually you can monetize that. I mean, not everyone wants to make a video about tuning guitars, but what I'm saying is think outside the box.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be a voiceover for radio. Maybe you can run jams like I run jams. A lot of professional musos are doing that on those nights where a venue is not necessarily going to pay for live entertainment.
Yeah.
Everyone wants your Friday night, everyone wants your Saturday night. There's a lot of work on Sunday arvos, sometimes Thursday nights. So you'll find professional musicians who are full-time, they'll be running jams on other nights, Wednesday night, Monday night, and Thursdays a lot.
And are they mainly wanting covers? Are you ever able to do some of your original stuff?
Well, I play at Rick's sometimes because I can play originals there, and I can play there on a Monday or Tuesday when I'm not going to have work, So the originals doesn't pay as well, obviously, as doing covers when you're, when you don't have a big profile. But well, it's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away. Well, since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whomever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant, but nothing, I said nothing can chase away these blues. 'Cause nothing compares, nothing compares to you.
How are you going navigating this new online world where you're trying to push yourself out there and get fans that way?
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's there was a time where I'd make up packages of I'd literally print out a biography and a demo CD and put it in an envelope and send that to 50 venues. Because now now everything's online, So I have one channel where I'm trying to relate to agents and clients, as in venues. So, for example, my YouTube is very it's not very interactive, it's not very personal, it's just good quality videos. I try and have good quality stuff on there. And what I'm sending to agents and venues is professional photos, professionally written biography, and good quality demos. But it's all electronic now. It's just email, your MP3, or your link to your YouTube and your link to your SoundCloud.
Yeah, wow.
Whereas with my social media side of thing, that's the way for me to connect with potential followers. So I try and make it personal. My Instagram is, I try to make it visually appealing, because that's what Instagram is. You sort of scroll through, and I want to have photos that really just grab people's attention. So if I'm at a venue that's got good lighting and nice colours, or sometimes I'm on the road and I take a photo. I had a photo the other day where I was driving back from Chinchilla, just a long straight road, and there's this long coal train coming the other way, and the sky was blue, and I just popped a shot. Obviously pulled over and didn't do that while I was driving, but I cropped that, put a filter on, try and make my Instagram look good, and with my Facebook media, it's more, I put up videos of me singing, and I use both of them obviously to promote when I'm playing and where.
It's interesting because you hear of bands sort of making that mistake of just posting the same thing on each site. And it's really, they're all a bit different, each site. You need to use them differently.
Well, yeah, and I am guilty of that. Like, I'll share, if I do an Instagram post, I'll share it across Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, because I'm not really that savvy with Twitter or Tumblr. I don't spend much time on them, so they just basically regurgitate my Instagram feed. But the Facebook, I can put longer videos on there, and I can, put little jokes and stuff like that, Sometimes. They might just be music-related jokes, but something to try and engage people in that way. People use Facebook differently, I think, so.
Yeah.
But it is an important part of what I do, and if I'm, I'll make posters, for a gig. In that poster that I put up on Instagram, I'll be tagging the venue, potentially the agent as well, the time and date of the gig, obviously, and what the lineup is, whether I'm playing in a band or solo or duo, and then I'll be hashtagging those as well, and
Sounds like a lot of effort, man.
Well, it's a business. I see it as a business. I try to. That's how I've managed to not have a day job, is to be professional and to focus on that. That's half of my interest, really. Is right. I want to be someone who I was a person who wanted to run my own business, and not work for an employer. And I'm also someone who loves music. So bringing those two worlds together has been, living the dream. Really, it's a dream come true. And I think, a lot of music purists, they don't necessarily do that, or they don't have, that mindset about it. So what they're doing, what they can bring to the world, doesn't get out of their garage, or their bedroom.
Was it a steep learning curve trying to work out how to do that?
Well, I was on social media anyway, so... No, it was, and you get different advice from different places. So what's important to network, I've had, for example, the software I use, templates for making posters and stuff. Now, I got that from one of the agents. Now, they actually make it a condition of the contract. They're like, use this software, make these posters, put these logos on them, make sure they're sent to the venue. So Things like that are good tips from a business point of view.
I like the do-it-yourself kind of mentality, you know, because you hear about some musos starting out who it's like they want to have that kind of Hollywood moment of just someone coming along and discovering you.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
But it's just not reality, right?
It's not reality these days. No, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work promoting yourself, building a profile. Remember that how people perceive you that's your brand. You know. Musicians don't always like to think like that. You know, some would feel it's undermining the purity of what they're doing, or that doesn't really interest them. You know, they can have all kinds of pursuits and aptitude and be very talented musicians, but unfortunately not many people will get to hear them if they don't. You know.
But if you can work it out like you have,
Yeah.
then you get those benefits, the extra time to work on your originals, the networking at different gigs.
Definitely.
I think it's worth it.
And there's room for investment too, you know. I think you do need to spend money on getting professional photos, you know, or getting professional graphic designer to help with your branding or your logo, or, you know, some places you do need to spend money, like any business, you know,
Yeah.
to invest in that. And look, it's worked for me. You know, and I know a lot of musicians who are full-time professionals, and I know a lot of really, really talented musicians who aren't, you know,
Yeah.
and can't take that step. And that would be my advice to them, is that you do need to think of it like a business. And if you outsource to an accountant to do your tax, you know, think about that from a business point of view. Outsource where you need to. If you need help from a graphic designer to build a site, do what you got to make the money to spend on that graphic designer, or, you know, so that you can relate to the world of the business of music. You know, you can relate to that world and you can speak to that world in a way that it's going to understand.